citizens, honored guests, welcome King Agrippa, Governor Festus, and Bernice.
Yeah!
King Agrippa, Bernice, and prominent citizens. Here is a man named Paul in prison. The governor that came before me kept Paul in prison for 2 years.
Bring out the prisoner.
As governor, I have talked to the Jews, and they think that Paul is deserving of death. Paul is about to go and stand trial in Rome. I cannot find anything wrong with Paul. I don't think he's done anything wrong. I cannot find anything to write about him.
Paul, you may speak for yourself.
King Agrippa, I am happy to speak before you, since you are an expert in Jewish matters. My accusers know I have lived as a strict Pharisee. Indeed, I persecuted the followers of Jesus of Nazareth. One day I was going to arrest some of them. At midday, O king, I saw a light from heaven, brighter than the sun. I fell to the ground, and Jesus Christ himself spoke to me and said I had been persecuting him. He told me I would be a minister and witness for him. I obeyed that heavenly vision, King Agrippa. And before long I was preaching the message of the Christ, just as the prophets foretold, that he would suffer and rise from the dead and be a light to the Jews and Gentiles.
Paul, all of this learning has made you insane.
I am not insane, most noble Felix. I speak truth and reason. King Agrippa, do you believe the prophets? I know that you do.
Paul, you almost persuade me to become a Christian.
I wish that you and all people would be like me. That is, except for these chains.
Place Paul and the other prisoners in prison, that are in prison, and put them on a ship and send them across the sea back to Rome.
But this man has done nothing to deserve death, nor to be put in chains.
This man had not appealed to Caesar. He may be set free.
Sirs, might I suggest that you put him in my command, me, Julius, and I can take him to Rome.
Very well. Let's put him in Julius the centurion's hands and let them take him to Rome.
You heard him, men. Let's take the prisoner. Come on, you.
For you are holy, you and you alone are holy. Breath of heaven, hold me together, ever near me. Breath of heaven.
We've already endured some treacherous sins. Now I tell you that if we keep going, this voyage will end in disaster.
I have been persuaded by the helmsman and the owner to go forth. So we will not stay here. We must continue the journey.
Load up the ship, boys. Let's cast off to Italy. So, where's this treacherous journey you're talking of?
Oh, you fool!
Wrap up the ship! Tie it up tight!
We can't battle this storm. The wind and the waves are too great.
It's not gonna work! Everyone help! Throw the cargo overboard!
We're doomed. We'll have to survive this storm. Last night, people were warned that there was still off the lights. There was much drama.
That thing has a beach.
Then let's head that way!
Burn is stuck.
Whoa!
The ship is keep breathing.
Julius, we must kill the prisoners.
No!
That escape.
No! Kill no one! If you can swim, jump off and head towards the beach! If you can't, grab onto something floating and get over to the beach!
Oh, wow. There's a shipwreck on the beach.
Let's build a fire for those poor shipwrecked people. They'll be chilled to the bone.
Yes. Let's gather more firewood. Wow, I can't believe he survived that. The storm raged on and on.
This is the island of Malta. You're welcome here.
We've had such a terrible voyage. It was awful.
Well, gather around the fire and warm yourselves.
I'll find some more firewood.
Thank you.
Ow!
This man must be a murderer.
Yes, murder.
Yes.
Surely,
He has escaped the sea, but justice will not allow him to prevail, so a viper has bitten him.
surely his arm will swell with the poison, or he'll die soon.
But no, nothing bad is happening to him.
He must be a god.
Yes, yes, he's a god.
I'm not a god.
A permanent man of the island, Publius, wants to extend his hospitality to you. You are welcome here. Please come.
Thank you.
This way.
Publius, eh?
Eye of your face, shine on
The natives of the island were very kind to Paul and the entire group of 276 people. Of course, we know that Paul was not a god, and he never wanted people to believe that. After some time had passed, the shipwrecked people were able to board another ship and continue their journey. As the group continued on, Christians came out to meet Paul, knowing he was headed to Rome to stand trial before Caesar. Paul was greatly encouraged by those who came to show their love. He was, after all, their brother in Christ, who had been arrested and put into prison, though he had done absolutely nothing wrong. When Paul reached Rome, he was allowed to live in a house that he rented. Though he had a guard watching him, he did not let this stop him from teaching about Jesus to anyone who would come near him. Paul was able to leave Rome and continue teaching and spreading the gospel everywhere he went. Some years later, he was arrested again and taken back to Rome. In his second letter he wrote to Timothy, he said, "I charge you in the presence of God and Christ Jesus, who is to judge the living and the dead, and by his appearing and his kingdom, preach the word, be ready in season and out of season, reprove, rebuke, and exhort with complete patience and teaching. For the time is coming when people will not endure sound teaching, but will have itching ears that they will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own passions, and will turn away from listening to the truth and wander off into myths. As for you, always be sober-minded, endure suffering, do the work of an evangelist, fulfill your ministry, for I am already being poured out as a drink offering, and the time of my departure has come. I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. Henceforth there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day. But not only to me, but also to all who have loved his appearing. Do your best to come to me soon." The life of Paul stands as an example of what it truly takes to be a follower of Christ. In all that Paul did, he did it to the best of his ability, and always put Christ first in his life. The struggles he went through for the sake of Christ was no more than opportunity to him. He was not afraid to proclaim the gospel to anyone and anywhere. He truly sacrificed everything for the name of the Lord.
Find our way in the darkest night. Let your love come on.